nations in mineral potential in the world. From oil to uranium to gold to tea to everything you need in Uganda we have. How very fast shall actually the thinking in the other sector of the economy is if we had developed our industrial sector, our mineral sector faster, we would never have needed to borrow to develop the oil sector. Therefore, we are going to fast track a huge industrial complex based on our mineral resources, on our agricultural resources, on our fish industry, on everything we have, and create hundreds and millions of jobs for our people. We're also going to do where our presidents come from. He has been speaking about the 4 A's. Okay? The arts, the academics, so we are going to do a sports and arts industry that will deliver Uganda. And we can tell you today, a 1 billionaire that has joined the billionaire rank this week by Forbes magazine is not an industrialist. He's a one man called Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a footballer. How many Cristiano Ronaldos can we have in Uganda? You see a young man like Okello, Alan Okello. Had he been given opportunities years back, that one would be a billionaire in the making. We have artists that are doing so well. We've just seen a young girl here performing, so perfect. In another world, this younger girl instantly will be a millionaire in terms of millions of what? Dollars. They won't be performing in Uganda. No. And there you need a right law, corporate law. You need a law that protects artists. You need a law that ensures that they earn from their talent. And that law, Mr. President, in the next 200 days of our parliament, we will put that law in place. So once you do those best things, then other things simply fall in. So our promise for a new Uganda is a Uganda that will ensure you have a heritage of prosperity, not for now, not for our children, it will be for infinity and beyond. And with those few words, I thank you. I'm requested to translate what I've talked about in Uganda briefly. Ensi yonna national platform bwemala okuwangula egenda ku lutabaalo olwokubiri. Olutabaalo olwokubiri bwe bw'okukyusa obulamu bw'abannansi. Okubatta mu mbeera embi temukooye, tugende mu mbeera ki ey'okwesiima. Tetubagamba tulwanirira mu nsi muno mubeere baavu. No! Ekitulwanyisa bannayuganda mubeere baki bagagga nga muli mu bulamu obukola ki obwesiimisa. Nga temusula na swegi. Wano mu Uganda abantu basula n'ebinyonyi. Wano mu Uganda abantu basula n'ente. Abantu mu Uganda basula wamu n'embuzi. Nga temuli mu nnyumba za nsiisira. Ng'obudde bwe buziba tekitegeeza kizikiza. Kitegeeza ekitangaala obukulembeze obulungi obulala bwe bukikuwadde. Ng'abantu abagala okuba obulungi muli buki bulungi. N'olwekyo olutalo lwe tuliko lwakuba buki bulungi. Kubanga tukooye embeera ki embi. Ebyo kubifuna wano wammanga tulina obikola. One, wateekwa okuvaayo abakulembeze abaagala eggwanga lyabwe nga ddala mwenyo gya ggwanga. Ekyo kitegeeza si bakulembeze bannabyabufuzi bokka, nammwe mwenna bagaali olikaawo. Oli simanyi oli community development officer, oli Nancy, oli headmaster, working a permanent secretary in our government. A corrupt one, pack your bags, nga tetunasimbula. Olumala okulaga abantu oluyanja nemujini y'obuli corrupt, please just run away. Kyagulanyi atuuse, kiboko ya uchafu. Kiboko ya uchi, kiboko ya uchi, kiboko ya uchi, muolo kwetuleta, kiboko ya uchi, kuna alimuttate kobeere speaker, ojja kugenda, kobeere ame kamanda ojja kugenda, kobeere nga kwesandisa asooka okweba permanent secretary simawati abali mu office eyo musibe ettaayi tubaviira ku nguudo tubawa emmotoka empya tubasasulira insurance. Please obuvunaanyizibwa bwammwe bugenda kuba kolera bbanga lyaffe n'abantu baffe. Ne political class will be required to do that. Political class itegeeza buli omu okuva ku president, genda ku kansala, genda kuwomuluka, genda kukwekaaga futu soja. Tokola futu soja, genda mu gavumenti ng'osuulira kinawe olifuna omukisa okubba essente z'eggwanga. Ekitutwala mu kino kwenswalinga nti abaana baffe n'ensi yaffe tubawa ekyobusika ekyaleero ekyenkya ekirivaawo abadani abada tugende mu nsi ey'essanyu okwesiima okuba obulungi okweyagala okufa nga tetukolima lwaki twazaalibwa n'abaana lwatiko okwekomba okufa. Njabawa story batwala e Luzira maximum prison mu bya popular resistance. Nensangayo omwana omuto baali bwe young boys ne mbabuuza lwaki babakutte ne baŋŋamba wano e Luzira wootulese muwanga wootusanze twesiimika okuba wano dana okuba ebweru. Ne mbabuuza lwaki ne baŋŋamba ti wano mu kkomera tuli ashuwali ekyeggulu kyakawunga naye weekiri. Noolwekyo ekkomera we nabasanga they were happy to be in prison because they will be assured of supper and dinner and shelter. That's not the Uganda we want. Omwana omuto ajja preferring okusigala mu kkomera dana okubeera ebuki ebweru kubanga eri mu kkomera afuna ekyeggulo oba ekyemiki ekyemisana. N'olwekyo tugenda kutumbula ebyobulambuzi nga tutandikira ddala okulaba nti buli kimu ekikola obulambuzi tukiteekamu ssente ezeetaagisa tusobole okuleeta abalambuzi baleete ssente bazireke wano nga bwe baba mu Uganda tebeeralikira tiyagasi, tebeeralikira kukwatibwa batwalibwa mu kkomera, tebajja kugwa mu infrastructure. Actually Malaysia waliyo tourism police. Abalambuzi be bajja e Malaysia okuva ku airport ng'oli mulambuzi mukifaire mu kadenga zino ezitwala balupembe ogenda okutuppa bw'ojja ng'oli mulambuzi nga tukutikka nga tukuyisa mu traffic jam mangu nga tukutwala mu hoteri ennungi ng'osasula ng'abaana baffe bafuna emiki emirimu. Instead wano emmotoka za poliisi zitambuza balupembe bagenda mu ofisi kunyaga ssente zaffe. No, those pickups will be picked from you tuziwe twice zibangwire okutuuka we tubagirako ki lupiya. Ekyo kinaaba kibi. Tugenda kuzimba amakolero agannamaddala. Amakolero gaffe gagenda kukola kyebagamba kusinziira ku maanyi n'ebyobugagga Katonda byakola ki byatuwa. Uganda gaffe kirina okubeerawa wano tewali yazze leero nga gavumenti oba oweegombola yamuwadde emmere waliwa. Wano waliwo eyazze ng'omwezi guno yafunayo akawunga ka gavumenti nga yafunayo omuceere gwa gavumenti. Noti ensi asobola okweriisa olubuto tetitwala myaka 3 ena kugitereeza. Sebo president myaka 3 bwegiti mujja kubeera mu ggwanga eddala. Sino lye mukoze eki temubaddemu nga n'ebyenfuna weebiki bitangaavu. Okola ekyo tugenda kukwata ebyobugagga mu ttaka ku nnyanja. Tugenda kuzimba amakolero nga gasobola okuliikiriza oba galiikirizibwa obuki obulimi n'okwongera ssente mu byobulimi. Tugenda kutumbula ebitone. Tugenda kutumbula ebitone by'abantu bonna mu Uganda asobola okudduka gwe kanyonkugulunyweza, asobola okuwa ebikonde naawe nyweza ebikonde, asobola okuyimba bambi teekamu amaanyi, asobola buli kyosobola okukola kiteekemu amaki amaanyi. Anti Kyagulanyi ajja. Abantu mweka bateetaaga Kyagulanyi namweka mbabuulire mwe ababbi abagayaavu abatukaleeti ku mirimu ono gwe tuleese kibooko yawuka. Kibooko yawuki yawuka. National Unity Platform is a train for disciplining Ugandans and delivering for a better country. I thank you. God bless.
Deputy President, wawulidde ebigenda okubeera mu Uganda empya afunye akakisa okubeera wano naye otegeeze buli omu ky'owulidde wano leero era abantu mu Baganda bali those who have given up empapula bazikubeko enfuufu Uganda empya empapula ezo zigenda kuba za mugaso kati buli omu azze wano ky'owulidde tegeezaako munno asobole okutegeera ekiyimiridde Uganda empya. Having said that, mujja kutuukiriza tweko omukisa alumni ba School of Leadership baje baperforminge wano skit. The people power! Our power! People power! NUP! And everywhere! Ladies and gentlemen! That's the way I am mukirize! Mbategeeze nti yebera official campaigners aba flag bearers NUP! Oshegede bulungi! Kakati, listen very carefully. To the good news, ladies and gentlemen.
To the oppressed, to the mothers that come to beg for a man. This is the good news. In less than 2 to 3 months, we are entering a new Uganda. People power! Our power! Our power! People power! NUP! Everywhere! People power! Our power! Our power! People! Kunga Uganda, kunga! Kunga NUP, kunga! Kunga Isakrisa kunga!
Musajja ate oyokya akabalero ki
Manvuli ku president ku MB tulondanga to
awo boyokya.
Your system was sham. No, how do you leave such an able leader?
This gentleman here
wakati bali abadongo wano ku Kavule East tugenda kulondanga
uliriza oyokya mpaka oyokyeza osiriziza. This guy here, we know him. He competed for the party card. He was not given that chance. And then you decided to run independently.
I have been in the party for so long. I work for the party. I moved to the president everywhere.
My friend, we had trust in you. We trusted you. You know the party ideology and everything. No more self-deputy. Our power. Everywhere. The flag bearer is here.
Hello, comrades.
Yes.
My name is Honorable Gorogoro. And I am the flag bearer of Kavule East Constituency. Good. I am here to tell you about my manifesto.
Before even the manifesto, Gorogoro you! Honorable Gorogoro you!
My first thing I'm going to do as the Honorable Gorogoro is to make sure I supply sugar. I am going to make sure I supply salt. Everybody will have salt in their homes. I am the rightful honorable, and I'm giving you sugar and salt.
Honorable.
Listen. I'm going to make sure I give you rice. Honorable,
what is that?
That is my beautiful manifesto.
I see. No, relax.
Yes.
You are the flag bearer of NUP.
Yes.
My friend, NUP has a very strong manifesto.
Are you sure?
You don't have to fidget around looking for what to say to tell people. Just listen, it is a very strong manifesto. Don't worry.
Our manifesto has priorities. Priority number 1, restore freedom, constitutionalism, rule of law, and our party, everything.
Read a manifesto.
Honorable, I want to tell you, our manifesto has priorities. Priorities number 2. We want to end corruption and wasteful expenditure. We're going to have a lean and efficient government.
Ministers twagala 2, ba MPs twagala 8, district twagala zikendeza. Honorable. Yes. We are going to have in a new Uganda, we are going to consolidate national unity. We are going to rebuild communities and eliminate sectarianism. Uganda Manifesto.
Listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the new Uganda that we the citizens of this beloved our country are claiming for now.
Yes.
National Unity Platform Manifesto guarantees equal access to quality public services. Ladies and gentlemen, clean water, public education, health care, energy, and public infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, National Unity Platform Manifesto got you in this our country that we are suffering with high rate of unemployment and poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nup Manifesto is going to create 10 million new jobs in this our country. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Unity Platform Manifesto got you all in this our country. Where we have children that suffer with hunger in schools. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Unity Platform Manifesto is going to establish a public school feeding program to transform agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, what a manifesto.
Why? Put the priorities down and put the priorities.
Comrades, yes, honorables, we still have much more. Not only the already outlined priorities of the manifesto, but our mighty party is also committed to tackle all issues on land with immediate effect. It will stop land grabbing, it will restore stolen land to victimized individuals, as well as guarantee to secure land rights. All good news for your comrades. As reflected to the priority 8 of our manifesto, our NUP as a party will directly promote decentralization at all levels, both at local and regional government. My comrades, our mighty party, the NUP, is going to strengthen the foreign policy, positioning the diaspora as an asset, as well as strengthen our competition at local level in order to build and develop our country in the new Uganda.
Now, gentlemen, you made a very big mistake. We had trust in you. But since you decided to stand against the flag bearer, first of all, you violated all the party values. Think about the revolutionary discipline, where you had to accept the results. No, you are no longer trusted. You lost the trustworthiness. You are no longer reliable, and you lost the integrity.
Obligation of you as a member of the party, that you have the obligation to abide and protect our party constitution. And Article 5C also tells you that if anyone stands against the party flag bearer and gun, you cease to be a member of National Unity.
Your candidate is no longer a member. Let's see what you are moving.
Yes.
President Bobi amukomera tusibe bugaito sikutikinga ingaito ingaito lyo wega
We have a foreigner here.
I also permitted to call it complex. listening to you, and it comes up to my concern that you need Honorable His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is the true leader of Uganda. Lastly, I want to categorically state that you do not, according to your manifesto, you do not have to be an elite to work for the people or to execute duties for the people. NUP manifesto is the only way to go.
People power!
Waka do diariwa. Go na mama. Mopira wenga te unya.
When you Uganda,
If you remove this. If you need this very simple, yes, it you. Who wants it?
and you got to be put them on. I'm going to try.
Next time, better. Those are the alumni from our School of Leadership. And also, Makurunji. Romu yanibwanisa akakiso okusoma era essomero lyaffe ebyo bivuddemu mu ssomero lyaffe. We hope to expand the capacity of the school. Of course, it's regrettable that this government has inducted our leaders of the school, but at least you can see the value that comes of that, out of that investment. The government we have currently is working against you, not for you. No one would not want to have a school which gives us that product value, such levels of getting and so long as the manifesto we have currently is working against you, not for you. No one would not want to have a school which gives us such products, such levels of getting and so long as the manifesto at this point, our time is fast spent, but also conveniently, we plan that when it reaches this time, we can present the popular school feeding program. So the next priority area is the school feeding program, which is going to be presented by our party treasurer, Honorable Benjamin Katana. You're welcome.
NUP everywhere. You know, it's very dangerous to talk about feeding at a time when people are beginning to feel hungry. I'll take a short time. Mr. President, our distinguished leaders, and all of you citizens, fellow citizens gathered here, and those that are watching us from elsewhere. I am here to share one of the priority areas in our manifesto, which is about the school feeding program. As a nation, we have had the misfortune of being led by a group of incompetent and unambitious people who only measure success on the basis of the past. And as a result, they have made some sections of our society equal and ambitious. And when we present a very fine picture of how a new Uganda, the future will look like my colleagues have ably done, there are many people who doubt whether it will be implemented or not. The school feeding program is a multi-sectoral, multi-purpose, and multi-dimensional program that is intended to achieve about 4 objectives under the bigger idea of NUP's plan for improving the quality of life of Ugandans. Because a government which cares about its people, a government which is people-centered, will automatically focus on improving the quality of life of the citizens. So the first objective under this plan, the plan is basically about providing a meal to the school-going children at primary level every day, a hot meal that is nutritious. And of course, we are going to do a survey, and the materials will be sourced from the homesteads in this country. So the first objective is to boost household incomes. And how do we intend to achieve this? we intend to elevate the household in Uganda into a production unit that will produce these raw materials that will be procured for purposes of feeding the children at school. If you are in an area, for example, that produces soya bean, and we know that it's a nutritious product that will help to boost the growth of these children, that will help to eliminate malnutrition-related diseases, then the investment will be in soya bean to make sure that the different households in that area are supported to produce soya bean, which will be procured by the school to feed the children. If you are from a fishing community and you have silverfish mukene, or you have fish, the investment of the NUP government will be in that sector to make sure that the households are able to supply the school with this product and earn money, but also feed the children. If you are from a milk producing community, and we have so many people who have been struggling with market for their milk to the extent that sometimes you see they are pouring it, sometimes they are selling it at 200 shillings a litre, when in Kampala it is 2,000 a litre. We are going to provide a market at the nearest school. The government of NUP will procure the milk, feed your children will be healthy, but your pockets will also be healthy. The other aspect related to that, away from boosting the household incomes, is boosting agriculture. Agriculture is the leading employer in this country. However, it has not received sufficient support from government. And one of the challenges that the farmers face is a lack of market for their products. I've given you an example of milk, and there are several other examples where people are struggling to find market for their products. Sometimes they are even cheated by the middlemen and middlewomen, but also cheated by the so-called industrialists who are protected by the cartel whose ambition is only to extract money from the population. So now we want to create a market at the nearest school in your community to make sure that now your products will be sold to the school, you will earn money, your children will feed, and they will learn well. The other aspect related to that is fostering better learning environment. A hungry child cannot concentrate in class. By the statistics of government itself, today, the dropout rate in primary school is 68%. By implication, it means that out of 100 people who enrolled in P1, 68 of those 100 don't complete P7. And that is a time bomb. And my colleagues have ably explained the other interventions that our government is going to come up with, including the increment on the capitation grant from the 6,000 per term to a more reasonable figure. But we are now also, in addition to that, going to introduce feeding of children at school so that people are not driven out of class by hunger to go to prison like the ones that the Honorable Mwanga was talking about. Even in school, you see, children are comfortable going to jail because they are assured of dinner. But now we want to make sure that they are comfortable going to school because they are assured of a meal, and a nutritious meal. Fellow citizens, the other intervention related to that is about the elimination of malnutrition. Every household in Uganda today spends a lot of money, and which money most households do not have, on meeting medical bills or taking children to hospital. And most of these children fall sick because of low immunity levels, because of poor feeding. So by feeding these children with a hot, nutritious meal every day, we are going to reduce the cost of medical bills significant amounts by making sure that the children are healthy, they are feeding well, and they are learning. They are not missing school because they are sick, and the parents are not spending money they don't have on them to meet medical bills because they are healthier. And so many people have been asking, when we have been talking about this, the school feeding program, that how are you going to implement this? We intend to implement it by working closely with PTA, the Parents Teachers Associations. Most of them under the current regime have collapsed, but we are going to work hard to make sure that we restore them, that we strengthen them, so that they can be leading stakeholders working with the government, but particularly working with the community development officers at the sub-county for purposes of coordination to make sure that this program is implemented. We are also going to make sure, especially in areas where production of these nutritious things is a little bit complicated because of climate and other things. And we have other interventions like irrigation that my colleagues have talked about. But we are also going to make sure that we strengthen the production unit of state agencies like Uganda prisons, so that they can be able to produce for some parts of the country that are not able to produce some of these products. And fellow citizens, this intervention also has a multiplier effect, in a sense that if the schools in a certain sub-county in Chusa are procuring eggs for the school, it means that even the person who makes the chicken feeds is going to get business. It means that some young people are going to get jobs to work in the poultry farm. It means that some young people are going to get jobs to work in the feeds factory. So this program is comprehensive and it is intended to cover a number of dimensions. How do we intend to do this? We intend to spend 1,500 on each student per day. And we are targeting 5 million children for the initial program. The total cost of this comes to around 1.5 trillion to implement this. And many people have been asking that where are you going to get 1.5 trillion from? My colleagues have given you a clear picture of what is happening in Uganda, and our president has been emphasizing that Uganda is a rich country, but we are rich poor. We are poor people. Because the statistics of the Inspectorate of Government have placed the money lost to corruption to about 9 trillion a year. And for us, we are looking for 1.5 trillion to feed our children. That is a very insignificant part of the money that is lost. We have been told about the mineral wealth that this country is blessed with. Our responsibility is to utilize the wealth for the benefit of the citizens. And so many people have been asking that there is a program going on called Parish Development Model. That how is it going to continue surviving under the NUP government? NUP government is a pro-people government, is a pro-development government. And what has not been managed well, our responsibility is to manage it well. The money that people are being given, for example, to go and invest in whichever they please, without training, without proper alignment with the market forces, for us we shall invest it in making sure that households produce food which will be procured by the schools in their communities. And by doing so, the little money that they are given will have a big impact, not just on their income, but on the health of their children and the health of the nation. I thank you.
Thank you so much. If you think that 1.5 trillion is a lot of money, remember that Uganda, under the NRM government, has since spent 1.24 trillion on Lubowa hospital project, which remains a construction site at best. So the problem is not the lack of finances, it is the misuse of those finances. Thank you so much. We are going to welcome Madame Ram to appeal Flavia, who will present about how we are going to stop land grabbing, which we think is a very serious challenge in this country that has affected all the other forms of development, because we believe that land is a very crucial factor of production and any other form of development you want to do. She will also be joined by Ms. Natalie Margaret, who will present about empowering regional and local governance. Thank you so much. I will welcome the able ladies who come and present that quickly. Let's utilize the time that we have.
People power. Our power.
People power.
My name is Ramto Flavia Pio from Northern Uganda, Omoro district. I bring you revolutionary greetings from all the villages of Omoro district. Firstly, because we are the first-hand victims of land grabbing in Uganda today. For many of us, for millions of Ugandans, if not all, we live in fear of losing our land, not to natural disasters, but to government officials, to government actors, and to many investors in the disguise of conservation. However, we bring a new Uganda. No wonder, us from Northern Uganda are very eager for the new Uganda. We are eagerly waiting. It's 3 months now. And I assure you, it is protest votes up there. Since 2006, my brothers from the north can testify. The Uganda Wildlife Authority gazetted the areas of our power in the disguise of conservation, I repeat. And our people of Madi and Acholi were forcefully and bitterly convicted from their lands. Many years later, they were given unsatisfactory compensation. This has led to a lot of people picking arms against each other. Madi and Acholi have lived together from the times of our ancestors. But after this, we saw a lot of us picking arms against each other. We saw us picking pangas, fighting each other. Convictions have become a big issue in northern Uganda because it has torn our communities apart. Not just the communities of Acholi, but the communities of West Nile, of Karamoja, of Lango. But here's the good news. The National Unity Platform that seeks election to government looks to address visible solutions to these pending issues. First, with land and tenants by enforcing legal safeguards for minor landowners and tenants. We'll also look at secure customary land rights by reviewing current past land transactions and taking concrete steps to restore land to rightful owners. We're also looking at having registration of all land. From a small landowner in Amuru to a big landowner in Entebbe, all your land is registered, because why not? As young graduates, Nup also seeks to support us to use technology to establish a homegrown IT system using the blockchain technology that is a secure digital system. The graduates in the house, you need to be very excited because finally we shall have jobs in the new Uganda. This will accommodate registration of all land, I repeat, and they'll have no more forged and fraudulent titles. We're seeing a lot of people losing their land because the powerful and the people in the government are using fraudulent means to get titles. The National Unity Platform seeks with a bold vision on land rights where no one lives in fear of possible eviction, unhealthy conflict, fraudulent acquisition of titles, closing loopholes of land grabbing and neglected land rights. Thank you so much, and people power, our power, our power,
People power.
Thank you.
Yeah, Charlie.
Afoy down Dutch, Miku Malme Uganda, Mi Central Uganda, Mika Weng Uganda. Anya Ramta Apio Flavia, Aagi Umoro District. Team Area 7, Malong Lokamanu Ngom, Padang, Miku Malme Uganda. Team Nuku Lokangom, Uganda Wakanti. Watian,
Uganda is such a beautiful place. Thank you so much. We appreciate. We love you. We recognize the pains of our people who have lost their land and this government. But she talks about the fact that we are going to create a system where people can access digitally. Your land title and right escape should not be a secret. That it is hidden somewhere. Umuntu yenna yandibadde ategeera ettaka lye likomawa oba liriwa ekyapa kiriwa kisobola okuteekawo sisitimu eyakalimagezi esobola okusobozesa ffe ng'abannansi okulaba ettaka lyabwe nekituyambako abantu abagala nnyo okubba ettaka because they complicate the systems. That said, there is a special person, special to me and special to the team from this side, who has been breaking down the manifesto on their social media platforms. Those of you asking, how can I understand the manifesto further? You'll go through Natavi's social media platforms and all the content is there. Allow me in a special way to welcome her to talk about regional and local government's devolution. The real one, not the one they pretend about. Thank you.
Thank you so much. People power. Our power.
People power.
A protocol observed. My name is Makerere-Kavule. I am from Mukono municipality. And today I'm going to talk about priority number 8, which seeks to empower regional and local governance through real devolution. Now, when you're talking about devolution, we are basically speaking transfer of powers from the central government to the local government or regional government. And you should pay more attention to the word real, because someone from this government is going to come and argue that, oh, we have devolution, we have decentralization, but it is not real. Ladies and gentlemen, the decentralization in the interim government is pseudo, but the NUP government wants to bring to you real devolution. We want to have a region or a local government that has real power. Power to give you the public services you deserve, power to make sure they make decisions that affect you, the common person. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to, with a very painful heart, I want to inform you that the local government, I want to bring to your attention that the local government only gets 7.2% of the total national budget. While we are supposed to do 70% of the work you see this government is doing. Why? If you didn't know, the local government is in charge of your roads. All those roads you see that do not connect to the roads that are constructed by UNRWA are done by the local government. The health centers you see in your community or in Uganda, they're under the care of the local government. The public schools or government schools you see in your area, they're under the care of the local government. But we get funding that is way less. And this national unity platform government wants to end that. Our promises are only 4 in the new Uganda when it comes to local government. Because we know when we work on the local government, every Ugandan out there is going to receive the public services they need. Number 1, we want to bring what we call the National Devolution Dialogue Council. This is going to be like a committee that is going to be revising, because before the NRM government came, or the governments before, we had regional governments. We didn't have these many districts we have today. When the NRM government came and they bring the Local Government Act, they have been trying to break down the districts to the many 140 plus districts we have today. They are not breaking down the districts to improve the public services to you. They are basically breaking up districts to increase the votes, to increase the number of MPs in parliament that support the NRM. Now, for us, we are bringing this council to make sure we discuss. The council is going to have religious leaders, cultural leaders, civil leaders, and regional leaders to discuss. If we went back to regional governance, how would Uganda be? And this council, we want to bring it in 2026, immediately after swearing in. We come up with this council. Number 2, I come with sad news for anyone here or anyone watching who was waiting to become an RDC in the NUP government. One thing we are going to delete immediately we get power are the office of the RDC, assistant RDC, deputy RDC, because the just taking our money has not improved services. I must tell you that the LC2 leaders, they get 10K, 10,000 Uganda shillings per month, and this money comes at the end of the year. For recent parliament sat and they agreed to increase their money to 50,000. This government doesn't love you, dear Ugandans, because most of these LC chairpersons are NRM, but they get 10,000. That's why you see them out of office every time. That's why you see them increasing the amount of money you have to pay to get a stamp, which you would get free of charge. Now, we've been telling you Ugandans that this government doesn't love you, and you didn't know until at least we from Mukono we got the chance, and the man told us point blank live. Nchabe Mukono sina chembebuya. Likewise, wherever you are, namwe taina chabebuya. So this is the time to vote for a leader aina chabebuya, a leader that wants to achieve well-being. We want to address regional inequality. We must agree that Uganda faces the same problems when it comes to infrastructure, health, schools, etc. But also we must accept that there are problems in the education sector in northern Uganda or in eastern Uganda are not the same as in central Uganda. We must agree that the health care or the roads in other regions of the country are not at the same level. So much as we want to improve these infrastructure and public services, we have to be careful on where we add more money so that we can give different regions to the same level. And those are the 4 basic parts we are going to focus on. And maybe briefly for the people that do not understand English, National Unity Platform, getuse mu buyinza, twagala okulabanga tuteekawo olukiiko luyise National Devolution Dialogue Council. Olukiiko lugenda kwerako abakulembeze ab'ekinnansi, abakulembeze ab'ebitongole by'obwannakyewa, abakulembeze b'eminisaawo eno, n'abakulembeze ba region. Tulabe tusena tulera ku nkola gye twalina eya federal nga buli region erina obukulembeze obwayo. Uganda egenda kubeera etya kuba tugizuula disitulikiti ze tulina ennyingi gavumenti ezizeereese tebali kuzireetawo kwongeza mpeereza y'emirimu gye balina obakolera, wabula bagyongeza kwongeza omuwendo gw'ababaka ba palamenti abapalamenti aba NRM. Basically tebali mukikola kuwongeza bukulembeze. N'ekirala twagala twongeza ku funding, twongeza ku ssente ze tuwa local government, kubanga tulabye nga bakola ebitundu 7 ku buli 100 ku mirimu gavumenti eno gyerina okukola mu masomero, mu malwaliro, ku nguudo n'ebirala, wabula ng'ate ssente ze babawa ntono nnyo. Twagala twongeze from 7.6% etuliko kati up to 40% by 2030. Twagala tuteekeyo graders, twagala tuteekeyo tractors, twagala tuwe at least manifesto yagambye at least buli district ebeereyo ne tippers 5 okutandikirwako okulaba nga ziri ku solid waste management. Twogedde ku chairperson b'ebyalo LC2s, akasente tugambye buli ssentebe w'ekyalo oba LC2 afuna $1,000 buli mwezi, ate nga tezijja buli mwezi, zijja ng'omwaka guwedde, kutegeeza mu mwaka ssentebe w'ekyalo afuna $12,000. Palamenti yatudde n'eteesa bawongereko babe ku $1,000 mpaka ku $5,000. Ne mbagamba bannayuganda, gavumenti eno kyetwagalangako, olaba LC abasinga mu Uganda bali mu kibiina kya NRM naye bafuna $1,500. Olwo gwe nakato waabwe nakaddu waabwe atalina wa NRM osuubira bagenda kufaako ddi. Ne tugamba nti twagala tuongeze nga bwe tuba tugaba ssente zigenda okukola emirimu mu regions eza Uganda ez'enjawulo, tuzongeza okusinziira ku need nti abatalina amasomero mu regions endala nti fenna tulina ebizibu bye bimu ebijja ku byokusoma, ebyobulamu, enguudo n'ebirala, wabula tulina okukkiriza nti regions ez'enjawulo zifeesinga ebizibu bino mu ngeri za njawulo. Yes, mu Buganda tuyinza okugamba amasomero tulina mabi, naye nga level y'obubi gye tuliko ate si yemu n'abali mu Eastern region oba mu Northern oba mu West. Katwagala nga tuba tuweereza zino ssente tuzichanolinge according to need okusinziira ku bwetaavu. So yeyo priority yaffe number 8 in brief, ngala we lwabagambye bannayuganda mwenna nagezazaako okumenya manifestos no priority zonna 11 mu Luganda kuva kwesooka paka kwesembayo. Page yange nze Natabi ku TikTok n'abalala basharinze ku X. So in case totegeera Luganda babadde basharinga muzungu bonna bonna nga bibadde bikalubirizaamu, osobola okugenda ku TikTok eyo ne weeyongera okunnyonnyoka zino zonna priorities mu nnimi Oluganda neeyanziza nnyo. Kyakyamabenjagala ogaatako nti akakiiko kagenda kubeerako abakulembeze b'ennono.
That said, I know some of you have been enjoying the presentation, but we are about to come to an end. I know that some of you have been enjoying the presentations, but we are about to come to our end. We have only 3 that are left. We will present those quite quickly, and then we recognize that time has been fast spent. We don't want to keep you here. We have told you the new government want people to work, to use their talents, to develop our nation. So we want to give you also time to prepare yourselves for the new government. That said, I'm going to welcome our next member, Council Stasi Marvin, to talk about how we are going to position our country to the diaspora. Just going to speak to how we are going to position our foreign policy outlook. Let me welcome Council Stasi Marvin to come and present in the next 5 minutes. Thank you.
Hi. So I rarely speak in public. I am still trying to catch my breath. I hope you can bear with me. I'm happy to see you here. My name is Stasi Marvin. I think I've already been introduced. By show of hands, how many of you know a doctor called David Sylvester? How many of you have you heard of a doctor called David Sylvester? Okay, no one. So, Dr. Mujimu is or was a surgeon. He worked for 26 years in a country called Namibia. When he was approaching his retirement, the Namibian government blocked his bank accounts. They didn't just block his bank accounts, they took 6 billion Uganda shillings of his savings and they took them to their central bank. Dr. Mujimu sued everyone he could in Namibia and went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and he lost. In frustration, Dr. Mujimu gathered the little that he had left. He gathered his cars, there were about 3, 2 state-of-the-art Land Cruisers and a Toyota Fortuner. This is 2017, and he hit the road from Namibia to Uganda. He came by road. He came with his cars, and he came with hundreds of millions of cash. When he reached the border at Mutukula, he was arrested by a team of JAT and Ugandan police officers from Interpol. They arrested him from no man's land, took his money, about 300 million, and then now brought him up to a police post somewhere in Mutukula. They accused him of funding rebels fighting the Ugandan government. And after a while, they released him. They set him free on police bond. But the real thing that they wanted, the real reason why they arrested him was to take the money and the property. So in as much as they set him free, they held onto the cars, and of course they held onto the cash because formally and under the law, they had not taken the money. He went and complained to Professional Standards Unit, and eventually the charges against him of fighting the regime were found bogus and they were dismissed. After some time, this whole ordeal traumatized him so much. He became a drug addict. When I say drugs, I really mean medical drugs. So he started abusing drugs and they took him to Tarika Hospital. But after some time, he escaped from the hospital and went back to his home in the constituents of Honorable Seru Kenya. It was in Chikajo March in the Sabagao. So one random day in September 2018, Dr. Mujimu committed suicide. He left a suicide note that said he had committed suicide because of the stealing of his property by Ugandan police and everything that he had gone through. Now, the story of
The story of Dr. Muchimo, I believe, is a story that many of our comrades in the diaspora find relatable. You, our comrades, are patriotic, you are hardworking, and you love your country. But you left Uganda because Uganda had stopped protecting and working for you. There is so much you can contribute to our country's development, but remain underutilized. You remain neglected by a regime that now sees you as enemies instead of seeing you as citizens with full and equal rights. You are abused and sometimes killed at work, but Uganda never intervenes for you. You can't renew your passports or get national IDs without hassle. Bureaucracy when you try to invest back home. You cannot protect your property in Uganda because it's so far away. You are homesick, you miss your families, you miss your friends, you miss relatives, you miss that smell of the soil when we've just had a downpour, when we've just had rain. Some of you are on expired visas, especially in the Arab countries, but you cannot return home because, first of all, you can't afford the air ticket, and you also cannot afford the fines. You are doing jobs that you hate to death, but you continue doing them anyway because your life depends on them. You are enduring all the suffering because of poor leaders, but you cannot vote them out because you are too far away from Uganda. So you are basically excluded from the politics, from the life, from the economy, and from the decision making of this very country to which you contribute about 5 trillion Uganda shillings every single year. Well, I am here to comfort you and let you know that the National Unity Platform sees your struggles. We feel your pain, and we are committed to ending that pain in the following terms. Number 1, we shall ensure that you can vote in Uganda's elections no matter where you might be in the world. We shall remove all unnecessary limits to you acquiring your citizenship. Number 3, we shall grant automatic citizenship to any child under 18 years that's both Ugandan parents in the diaspora. Our embassies shall process your passports and national IDs within 7 days of you applying for them. We shall facilitate the elderly, the distressed Ugandans abroad to return home. We shall also assist them to readjust to life in Uganda and settle in like they never left. We shall organize and fund annual cultural trips for Ugandan children born in the diaspora to learn more about their culture and languages. We shall introduce what we call, or what is called, diaspora bonds, through which your comrades in the diaspora, who are able and willing, shall lend money to the government with the guarantee that you'll get it back with a fat interest. We shall run a digital investment center through which you'll be able to register businesses, buy property, make other investments in Uganda right from your mobile phone. We shall operate a secure and digital land registry system and amend our land laws to make sure that you can buy, sell, or enforce your rights in land without stepping in Uganda. As for our skilled professionals, we shall facilitate your temporary permanent return home and reserve for you employment opportunities in our public service. For Ugandans suffering in Arab countries, we shall have free embassy services to fight in your corner. In other words, we shall grant the diaspora, number 1, your full political rights. Number 2, the economic instruments you need to play. Number 3, the legal protections you need to be safe and keep what you can. Number 4, we shall grant you a seat at the policy table deciding Uganda's future. I have read from cover to cover the manifestos of the 2 strongest opponents to our presidential candidate. This is exactly what those manifestos promise you, our comrades in the diaspora. These are the promises we make to you. So to back up our plan for the diaspora, as part of our foreign policy, this is what we came to do. Number one, we are going to withdraw all non-career diplomats from our embassies and replace them with competent professionals. Number two, we are going to renegotiate international agreements, prioritize the interests of Ugandans, while at the same time ensuring that these agreements still remain beneficial to our neighbors and to the international community. In short, we are going to turn Uganda into a country that works for all Ugandans and shows up for them no matter where they might be on this planet. We shall build a new Uganda where we will never again be raped, tortured, dehumanized, and forced into exile just because you hold a contrary political opinion. That Uganda comment is very possible. When I visited Dubai in 2022 and I saw the transformation that desert had gone through, I concluded, me as a person, that any country can transform itself if it decides to. All it needs are leaders who are intentional and have the will to do what's right, no matter the cost. To transform Uganda, we just need political will. We don't need magic, we don't need miracles. And that political will now has a face. It has a name, and it has the heartbeat of the man seated right there. He knows what it means to rise from nothing and achieve everything. But he also knows what it means to risk everything. Fighting in the hope that if he remains in that fight long enough, tomorrow will be a better day for everyone. So let us take a bet on this Moses of our time, a man who led himself from the struggles, from the trenches, from the ghettos of Kamocha, and turned himself into a global success story. Let us take a bet on President Kyagulanyi and see if he won't lead our country into the Mecca of freedom and opportunity that we all yearn for. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Marvin. That was very clear. Some of you are wondering, he told you he has read other parties' manifestos. When he put up a piece of paper, you saw nothing. In case you're wondering, it's just saying that other parties have nothing for you who stay in the diaspora. Thank you so much, Councillor Marvin, once again. We only have 2 people left, and perhaps these are the very important points we need to listen to. We were deliberate when we saved the best for the last. So we are going to have Miss Natavi Maria, the Dokoska. Some of you know the one, but it's a bit different. You just have to tilt it a little. Who is also a NEC member and one of our finest leaders from Eastern Uganda. Allow me to welcome her to present about the environment.
Thank you very much, Comrade Lawel. People power! Our power! Our power! People power! NUP! Everywhere! Kunga, Uganda, Kunga! I am by the name is Maria Ledokoska Natabi Kasukali Kabutembe okuva mu bikaddo by'e Butembe. Era omubaka agemye bendera ya Nup Butembe mu Jinja District. Nina okutwala omukisa guno okwebaza Mr. President n'okwisusaayo e Busoga. Weebale eno weebalire irala tutulaga mukwano wasookera eka gye bakuzaala ebidaadaabo e Busoga. Weebale eno. Today I'll be addressing priority area number 10, which talks about ensuring sustainable management of natural resources and climate resiliency. Mwidi bulungi nti tuli bagayiganga ewanga Uganda era President ayigenga abakobera nti ebyobutonde ebyobugayiga bye tulina bingi nno abula obukulembeze bwe tulina n'obutali kubikozesa kimala kutugayigawaza ife abanansi. And that is where the problem is. Our problem is leadership. Our problem are not resources, because we are endowed in all ways. However, However, we also have a challenge of climate change. Climate change has affected our natural resources in various ways. I understand climate change is a global challenge. However, there are things leaders are doing to ensure that this climate change does not affect their people as badly as it is affecting us. Mwana mwiti ntenda kudino tosobola ku planningira bya bulimi ng'osinziira ku maadi agali kutonda ag'obwerere Katonda g'abanga atuwadde. Olina okuteekateeka mu ngeri ey'enjawulo. Aye gavumenti enteviireeyo kutuwa bukugu obwo kuteekateeka bya bulimi byaife. N'ensonga lwaki ennaku dino endala nningi. People do not have food because of the food insecurity caused by the climate change okukyusa amaadi engeri gye gali kutondamu ate ng'awo tuli kusinziira. You also know climate change is affecting our natural resources and land use, especially with the wetlands. You've seen how landslides have also affected our people, especially in the mountainous areas. And you know very well how climate change has also led to the degradation of our biggest resource, which are the fertile soils. You also know that climate change does not only affect our social well-being, or does not only affect the environmental well-being of our country, but it affects our infrastructure development. Mubutambula mubona kunga amaadi gagwire wane Kampala mu kibuga kyaimwe kyamwete ekibuga. Amaadi bwe gagwa gasibira wa mu nguudo mu butale era na sente damu wa musolo dedizimbye. Therefore it is also taking us back. Awata basitaire sente okukola ku ebitonotono byetuli kusasulira mu sente damu wa musolo era amaadi gali kwongera okola ki okubyonoona. Bw'olingirira n'ensansanya ya sente gy'omuwi w'omusolo eri kweyongera olwa climate change. Inti saawa yona mwida kubona di supplementary budget diri kwida mu parliament olw'okuba waliwo disaster. Weebuuza tuli mu iwanga ki gavumenti eno tasobola kutyama ya planningira bulungi eiwanga lino omwaka mulamba. Tukoba inti landslide iwe nga gavumenti kwetuwe sente enyingi okulingirira ebintu by'emberi. You cannot forecast and mitigate such challenges and even include them in our budget. The problem of our country is not because we are under-resourced. The problem of this country is poor and bad leadership. And that is what the National Unity Platform is offering you through His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. An agile leader. Atadiringirire wala nga tusobola tutwenda ku supplementary budget awulanga tudiplanningira mu bwire ebintu ebinaba bigwirewo ebyo tujja bikola tutya. Tujja kunonenkereza tutegeere buli climate change weerigema okusobola okubonekanga tutegeera gavumenti kyerina okolawo nga kikaali kukola ki nga kikaali kubaawo era nga n'ekintu ekintu kyetujja okola kyetweta climate adaptation and mitigation mechanisms eddendawulo era liri mu manifesto yaife enenungi imwe abaire bakaali gisoma tulikoba tutya. How are we going to adapt and mitigate the climate challenges we are facing? Ekisookera irala, we are going to strengthen international climate financing and partnership. Nga bwe mbakobye ekizibu kya climate change kiri global. Aye tutaira mu mbeera ki tusobola okukola n'abantu ab'amawanga agandi. Amawanga agandi galekula okutuwa esente olw'obugubuzi obuswise. Aye batunaalaga nti esente gy'abantu tujjagikozesa bulungi. Ndibakoba nti mu climate change abantu bajja kupatanalinga n'ife tusobole okubonekanga tukola ku bizibu ebiri kutuleetebwaku climate change. Ensonga ey'okubiri n'ensonga ey'oku adaptinga climate responsive budgeting framework. Eyo nekola etya kyembakobye nti twetaaga abakulembeze n'obukugu obujja okusoma embeera ng'ekaali kubaawo. Bwe tusoma oluvannyuma embeera eyo ng'ekali kubaawo twaba ni pulaani ekendeeza ku mbeera eyo ekyabwe egy'okugwa ku bantu era twasobola n'okwinongola abantu ssente daibwe we tuli kujja nga tebali kugigugulagugule. Ensonga eyokusatu ni climate adaptation fund, ssente erijja okuyamba omuntu wa bulijjo okusobola okwenganga enembeera eya climate change oba amaanyi gano agali kugwa amangi entobazi gye bali floods eziri kuwamba n'endala erivudde olwa climate change era nga omwo tujja kubaamu n'essente erijja okuyambaku okwakisesinga amaadi. Imwe abalimi lwaki odanga okulinda amaadi katonda gw'otayogera naye nti kukuwa amaadi entyo ogalinde nga tigajja kwida nga mulina president wa His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu ayi nti mulina enanda Victoria mulina enanda Kyoga mulina omwiga Nairo osobola okugamba n'ebintu bingi ayo olw'obwire kambire kawo aye mujje musome. Please go and read this manifesto. Buli bw'ogisoma oba n'amaanyi g'erina g'etukwogekano kubaona Uganda empya. Ensonga eyindi twenda okutaawo emirimu gye tweta green jobs ni climate smart enterprises nga bino tujja kusinziira mu bintu nga renewable energies. Obusibu climate change eno bwe buli kuvanga n'okuba nga tuli kukozesa bubi obutonde bwaife bane emiti tugimazeewo gena nga tuli kujja mu manda aye president waife yatukolye bw'anaafuuka president ati amasanalaze gajja kuba ga 5 oyita kuba weetaaga ki okujja okugula amanda gajja kuba gakuyamba ki ng'amasanalaze ga 5 oyita kufumbiranga kuki ku masanalaze aye ate waliwo n'ebintu twetaaga solar energy akasana kano katwokyera bwereere nga tituli kukakozesa kutoolamu maanyi gajja kutuyamba kufumba nakumulisa amayumba gaife lwaki tusula mu nzikizanga emisana tuba n'akasana akangi oti ni kano. Ensonga eyindi mbaira mu kidinti eyekalamoja awazira amasanalaze wali yempewo tetusobola okufuula amasanalaze mubaira timukindi kuba gavumenti eno yabawudiisa yabalimba but I'm just saying, the people of Karamoja, the President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu and his government is going to turn the wind that disturbs you into electricity to light your houses and give you electricity to cook and do all other things. Nga n'ensonga ey'okubonekanga tugema ku bintu ebidde okwiza obutonde bwaife okubuwa amaanyi tusobole okubonekanga obutonde obwo ate bututaasa ebizibu bye tutasobole kwetegekera. Bana kino ekintu mbaliriza nga mbakoba ekintu kirala bino ebintu bye tuli kusoma n'okuwandiika byona byona birungi aye tibidda kubaawo bwe kubanga timutwegaiseeko okubita mu kalulu okwekalakaasa akalulu okwekanaiza tujja tulonde tuzimbe Uganda empyaka nga tutiikinga manvuuli buli bweri. His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu era mbasaba tubeere kiriya Katonda abankumire era
Thank you so much. I told you I said in the West also at the last. I left with only one person who came to them. However, after that person, we have an artist who I'm going to about now. And after that, we shall have Commander 001, the next president. Part of them to implement all this. I can't wait. That said, allow me to welcome the last person, Miss Precious. us. She's going to talk about technology. Uganda India Uganda kulembeza kalimagezi era ebintu bijja. Allow me to introduce Precious, the last person, to talk about a tech-driven economy. Thank you.
People power. Our power. People power. I know you're a little bit tired, but bear with me. People power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the energy we need to enter the new Uganda. Otherwise, we are stuck. So, I'm not a good speaker, and I have a challenge that I'm going to speak after someone with a lot of energy. So I hope I can keep up. So, abantu banje bambadira mwasiba mutabasebo n'abanyago. Nanakina baida wenu kuja mundonyeka people power, our power, people power. So I'm sure Ugandan, you're going to wonder why my name is Nalinya Wali Mchala Mumbeja Nengena Kokero Runyankoli. Nze Nalinya Precious Julian na atendi ngenda kokera mu Runyankoli ebintu ebisinga kubanga nze ndi muna Uganda omutuufu. Kitegeeza ki tulekeraawo okutwawula yawula ffe tuli bana Uganda nkimanyisa tuli abanya Uganda. So today, I'm priority 11 a technology. Nichmanya hatuna bana bingi abakoze omutimbagano. Do you have TikTokers around? Yes. All of us. Yeah. And I'm sure all of you are holding your phones. Yeah. So this government understands that we are in the 21st century and understands that we are a young generation. So Ugandans cannot afford to be left behind in this technology era. Ekyo kimayisa government yakyagulanyi tekuza kusiga muntu wena nyuma. Nekimanyi nti nekozesa technology so ekile priority ya mani technology. Priority 11 is transforming Uganda into a tech-driven economy through innovation. Why is this priority important? According to the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, trade lowers costs, creates jobs, expands markets, yet 30% of Africans actively participate in digital trade compared to 50% in Asia. Uganda's ICT only accounted for 0.5% of the annual the total annual exports. Also, our internet costs about $2.6 per gigabyte, and it is the highest in the region. When you compare with other regions around us, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, our internet is the most expensive. What does this mean? It means we are not lacking potential. It means we are just limited by high internet costs, limited digital literacy, and weak policy frameworks for which, if we are to compete regionally and globally, these issues must be addressed. And the Nup government understood the assignment. 1, we are going to talk about digital infrastructure and connectivity. The Nup government will halve the cost of internet within 5 years by reducing data taxes, investing in regional internet, and will expand affordable broadband internet to every sub-region, prioritizing schools, healthcare, and trading centers, so that no community is left behind. Ekimanyisa ki Nup eriyo neekira tulaalonde president wiitu tulateeka gavumenti ensya omubuyinza nkimanyisa nwakutukendeereza omu myaka etano kubanza nwakukendeeza intaneti by half nkimanyisa waba ogula data yawalwa n'ogigula aha shiringi 5 n'okutandika kugigula aha shiringi 25 nikyo kikumanyisa. Education and skilling development. To build a digital country, we must build a digital citizen. Nkimanyisa ki ekyo wano oyenda kukozesa technology olina okwegesa abantu okubala gikozesa Nup government yatutira mu nekwata buli ssomero neryewitukulya akwerukayo mbarra nebakubateerayo computer labs. Tutukuza kwetagisa kuruga mbarra kwisha kunu kwega kubibiraho amasomero nubegesa computer. No. Nup government is saying you are going to have good equipped computer laboratories in your regions. Let's talk about health. The Nup government will transform healthcare delivery. It will roll out a national e-health system that includes electronic recording, telemedicine services, digital drug tracking to improve efficiency and access. Health workers will be trained in digital diagnostics and patients management, while data analytics will be used for epidemic preparedness, disease surveillance, targeted interventions, and this will ensure that quality health care reaches every corner. Wargo wanyu bwarga owanyu bushenyi wisha Kampala nupe yunetira mtoka kutanka kutambula na basa zempa prezi no nekora system ngwisha no bwire bwawe no bogamba amazina gawe no tayo ID yawe nibamanya obwiro bukushashi kandi kumwana kuyatira ngozi zibabije ekakumite bibye kuretaha obekwisha nbantu bamanya konka bayikuziya kabata kubimanya. So we are saying this data will help us to prepare and know abantu bambara bagwire munogo mfisha tubakorech just so kwebuzabuza wabatakutimanya. Agriculture. Of course, we all understand that agriculture remains the backbone of Uganda's economy, and technology can make it smarter and more productive. It will create national digital agricultural platform that provides farmers with real-time weather updates, market prices, and extension services. The previous speaker talked about the uncertainty of weather, that we can't tell when it's going to rain or when it's not going to rain. But the new government is saying, no, our dear farmers, with technology, we can tell you when it's going to rain, when it's going to shine, and we can actually tell you that you can take your things in a certain market. Nchimaisa, mtokuza kuwasa kutokuza kuila mshana kwaka, owenshura kugwa for you to plant. No, nibakuhereza service asumu yawe kugambira unomanya amateka awe no katwaro mukatari kanaka ekintu zakuza hari so they are going to make our lives easy. Then governance and public service, digital transformation also must reach the government itself. We will digitalize key public services, including licenses, land titles, taxes, health records, improve efficiency and accountability. And of course, we will have an e-procurement system that will be introduced to curb corruption and save public funds. Mukimanya ababbi be Uganda babbira nnyo ku kino n'ogenda okufuna ID ne bakusaba ssente empitirivu n'ogenda okunoonya land title yo nga tomanyi weeri. So Nup government is saying, no, we are going to put these things very much available to you and near to you through technology. Ng'omuntu tateekeddwa kujjako nguzi okumanya details z'ekibanja kyo oba land title yo woweeri. Let me talk about economy and innovation. To expand digital access, we will cut access on smartphones, computers, internet devices, and then of course there will no promises to fund small startups in agribusiness. Of course, this is important for those who are worried that they are removing. I heard rumors on internet, I'm so good at internet and I'm always there. For those who know me, there was a rumor saying, Nup wants to scrap off, what is this thing is talking these days? PDM, yes. And so don't get worried. The Nup is saying we are going to create a fund for agribusinesses, for the youth who have small businesses to start up, not to give money to some random person who eats the money and then random people are paraded as though they were funded. Last but not least, of course, as we talk about digitalization, it is important to talk about the national security and digital rights. The Nup government promises to expand digital opportunities. We will also make sure digital safety. Nup will strengthen cybersecurity capacities to combat fraud, hacking, online crimes, and of course, street enforcement and judiciary. Enforcement and the judiciary will be trained to handle crimes cases effectively. We also run public campaigns and data protection, because we know recently there was a saga, an investigation that was conducted by BBC about human trafficking, and this criminal had access to our data, and everyone kept asking the same question: how did this criminal have access to our NERA data? Because he gets all the information from NERA. And of course, as usual, this question was never answered. But the Nup government is saying, we are going to protect your data, we are going to protect you from hackers, we are going to protect you from online harassment and anything in between. How will this be done? They intend how will this be done? Of course, they don't want to silence dissent, but they want to ensure space remains free and safe and productive, because this is important. We know the young Ugandans are earning off the internet, but somehow the dictator, who is of course not the 21st century leader, is stuck in the 18th, I don't know if there is the 16th, thinks that it is okay to take off Facebook, which was feeding people are connecting, and of course we live in a global village, so this is very important that we connect. So in conclusion, a tech-driven Uganda is not just a dream, it is a deliberate and achievable voice. A Uganda where a farmer can check prices on their phone, a patient consults a doctor online, a student learns coding in their rural areas, and a person earns global income in their village. Under the new Uganda now, technology will not just be a tool, but it will be an engine, transformation, opportunity, prosperity, and together let us push Uganda into the digital future. People power, our power, people power. Thank you so much for listening to me. Abantu bambanda numayeto kukora abantu bantungamo Western people omulumo twine kumwe konka. For so many years ndwagira ngwito turije konka in actual sense turukubi. So turijire twajya muturukubi president nito tuliye nyuma yawe.
Thank you so much. Precious, I think that was elaborate. Maybe what you need to take home from what you are saying is that the cost of internet is going to be low, which means whoever kubeera ku TikTok tolina kwewola ssente olabe ku manifesto unpacking gye tubaddeko wano kuba internet mwaka kaseera egenda kubanga osobola siya bbeeyi. And I think what I want to add is that one of the controversial things that have come from that manifesto point is that we shall deliver medicine where you are. And often these things seem ambitious, but when you just cross to Rwanda, we have programs where drones can deliver medicine, and you don't have to go through traffic to access that medicine. I think what you also said is that if we can expand internet connectivity, because once you step out of Kampala and go to neighboring districts, abantu kyasobola kufuna internet. But if we can do that, it means that we give you an opportunity to innovate and to do all these other things. But also I think there's a lot of willingness that people want to invest in young tech ideas. If we can pacify this country, make internet easy, a lot of investment will come in. So we have come to the end of the presentation. On the priority areas, I'll ask each of us to clap for our able panel. If anyone tells you that they have not understood the NUP manifesto, either they were not paying attention today or they don't want to read. And like the lawyers already say, ignorance is not a replacement of absence of facts, or ignorance is not defense. So anyone who says that they don't believe that a new Uganda will fundamentally change this country will be lying. And they're not talking about fundamental failure. There are people who have used that word and it no longer makes sense. The only evidence we have is that people now think things can't change fundamentally. But we have guaranteed you today, and we have showed you what is in it for you. So before we have an artist, I will ask each of us to humble ourselves. We have colleagues who have been imprisoned. We know them now as political prisoners. One of them wrote a letter to us, and he said we need to pass on his communication. So I'll ask each of us to pay attention and listen to what he has to say. He's called Makerere-Kavule. On 2nd October 2025, he wrote this letter, and this is what he said. Greetings all Ugandan masses, foot soldiers. I write this from Luzira Upper Prison. He says, we take this opportunity to send our message to all foot soldiers across the country. First of all, we thank our President, His Excellency Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentamu Bobi Wine, for always standing with us in all situations we go through, and we do thank all our leaders who visit us in prisons. We kindly thank those who help our families and always attend our court trials. We really appreciate you for the courage that you give us. A message to all foot soldiers. We are in prison, but we have no hope that we can join you in person. We have our hope in you. We respect you, brothers and sisters. We are praying for you in this campaign struggle. We are updated in all campaign areas that you go through, and our flag bearers of national people from across the country. We request you to please do whatever you can to bring justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity in Uganda. As we continue with this restarted, re-empowered, and recharged struggle for a new and a better Uganda, we join Mr. President, His Excellency Bobi Wine, by reminding you always remain focused, be sober, protect each other from a dictator, and let Ugandans be mindful of brothers and sisters who lost their lives in this struggle. Think of us who are in prison. Think of those who are still missing and are in exile. Because of this struggle, please don't give up to fight against the dictator and his government. We remind you that we are struggling for freedom, against dictatorship, against poverty, unemployment, injustice, corruption, and embezzlement. Hence, restoring a new Uganda. Let's avoid bribes, gifts, and obstruction from our enemies. Please love each other and stop using your fellow comrades for individual gains to our enemies. Please be strong to fight the autocratic government. We are smelling change, but the change can only come from working hard. And we can't change the past, but we can change the future. So let's work hard in the campaign. We wish you a blessed journey in these campaigns. Remember that every word in this campaign means war. May Allah give you courage and strength to overthrow the autocratic government. May Allah give you the gift of knowledge and make the best decision for this country, Uganda. And he says, people power, people power, let's fight for a new Uganda. He shares this message to everyone, and please translate it in different languages countrywide. He says he thanks you, Makerere-Kavule, political prisoner from Luzira Upper Prison. Makerere speaks for all the people that have been in prison for just sticking to their conscience and failing to give in to this government which seeks to deprive them of a conscience which is supposed to be a God-given right that they can exercise. Having said that, I'm going to welcome an artist who of us have known. His name is C-Wine Nalukalala.
NUP! Only freedom for this is C-Wine Nalukalala. Ali Massive! Come! Share it with me! Rastafari! See? Let's go! One! No matter what the tribulation, don't give up. No matter what the situation, no matter what kind of tension, no matter when you depend the tension, no matter what the situation, no matter what the situation, no matter what kind of tension, oh, no matter when you depend the tension, every man starts from one, just to make it up to be number one. Hey, them start from zero, and we see them till zero. You cannot say that I'm not gonna make it up. Everybody me up in my shit up. Level. NUP. Everywhere. NUP. People power. Power. People power. essaawa tetulina ndala baba mukama wange okulembedde olutabaalo luno tetulina ssaawa ndala yeno yokka mukama wange yeno yokka ssebo yo kakakayima kamu abavubuka bakaita muvubuka oli mubi yosime Listen, select David. So listen to me carefully. Adios. Abakusinga komasala yero bana bamubi akatiya kapuli bali mbacholi mubi toli mubi na yoli mubi ufumuko li mubi kapule nyokola boli mubi abakusinga komasala yero bana bamubi akatiya kapuli bali mbacholi mubi you know bad but you bad mind ugina digeto amasmama tukamize yokatiwa chikowa you cannot sit in them wakola kwebali chawa utakomye mbiseja amasmama tuwakutaka kulawa sekai wakuti Makamla tabla wanto telo tala wazala wanto Kukulukunya awanto telo nyamula awanto Chikusa wanto watali na musambo wanto Chukola wakuso mera molu watu Mkubuko ni mubi Kakule myokola la boli mubi Awakusinga kwa wazala yero wala mamubi Kakachira kakuli bali Pacho ni mubi Tali mubi mwenye ni mubi Mkubuko ni mubi Kakule myokola la boli mubi Awakusinga kwa wazala yero wala mamubi Kakachira kakuli bali Pacho ni mubi Listen to me again. Tungena digeto, amas mama tukamize chokati wajikowa. You cannot sit in your wakola kwedari chawa. Watakomye miseja amas mama tuwakutaka kulawa. Senta yuwa kuchawa. Watabla tabla wanto telo tala wanto. Watulugunya awanto telo nalura awanto. Chikusa wanto watali na musame wanto. Chukola wakusomela level. NUP everywhere. Tetulina sawa ndala chenyizo bagamba. Tetulina chi? Era chi? Yesawa. Omusajja bugenda baba.
Maybe what I want to say is that in a national platform, we are very spiritual as well. We believe in God, we believe in Allah, and He's the one who has brought us this far. And is going to be with us in the new Uganda. Allow me welcome, I like her so much. Allow me welcome Honorable Namboze to give us a scripture. Because our mission is absolutely.
People power. President, omusajja katabungiyewo ennaku ezo mukama wange naye nga bumanyi sitatafe okujjako nga firimu egenda kuggwa mukama wange president tiimu gyendabye wano nebaziza katonda ndabye abaana wano abateeka ensonga mu ddiiro ate ng'olaba bazitegeera pulezidenti nekusanyukirako nnyo n'eri bannayuganda nemanya nti tiimu eyokukola mulimu weeri yesu kristo naye bwe yajja mu nsi muno n'asuubiza ensi empya kati bwe yasuubiza ensi empya nabali ne bagyesunga olunaku lumu gamba munaakuli nange ti olunaku lumu yesu yali atuddawo ng'agomba muwulira ebigambo ebikulu ebirungi ebinaabeera mu nsi ki empya ate engeri yesu ye gye yagenda awo osobola otunuulirawo Kyagulanyi nga bamaze okatappira ebigambo ebingi bwe bityo nga byonna bya nsi ki bayibuli egamba bweti nsomye mu Matayo essuula 24 okutandikira ku linnya olwokusatu yesu bwe yali ng'atudde ku lusozi lw'emiti Zayituuni abayigirizwa ne bajja waali mu kyama ne bagamba nti tubuulire ebyo biribaawo ddi
Amina.
Era kabonero kyakalaga okujja kw'ensi eyo. Yesu n'addamu nti mwerinde waleme kubaawo bababuzaabuza. Kubanga bangi balijja nga bayita nga beeyita nti Yesu naye bali bababuzaabuza. Muliwulira entalo wano nawali, mwerinde kweraliikirira. Ebyo biteekwa okubaawo naye ekiseera kiriba kitandika butandisi. Eggwanga erimu lirumba eggwanga eddala, n'obwakabaka bulirumba obwakabaka. Walibaawo enjala n'okukankana kw'ensi mu bitundu bingi, naye olwo okubonaabona kuliba kutandika butandisi. Mmwe bali bakwata ne babavaayo ne mubonyaabonyezebwa, era n'abamu ku mmwe mulittibwa. Abantu bonna balikyawa mmwe olw'okuba muli bagoberezi b'oyo. Olwo bangi ne bayiteremuka. Walibaawo n'ababalyamu enkwe, era bali bakyawaganya. N'abalanzi ab'obulimba balirabika ne baba babuzaabuza olw'obujeemu okuyinga obungi. Okwagala kw'abamu kuliwola, naye oyo aligumira ebizibu okutuusa ku nkomerero yalirokolebwa. Era amawulire amalungi agava ku bwakabaka galitegeezebwa abantu mu nsi yonna okuba obujulirwa eri amawanga gonna, olwo ensi eyo n'eryoka etuuka. Mukama yo
kyetulaze nti obubonero bwonna bwe buli. Ekibuuzo kiri nti tulirete, twetegese. At this point in time, allow me welcome, and I did not get this opportunity when the government starts. But before we welcome the president, let us have another artist to set the stage for the ultimate president of this country. Thank you.
Hey! basanyufu.
People power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere.
Abasinga nsubira kakusoka abasinga kuteranye tulaba negayo wambuze ekibuuzo muddamu Kyagulanyi
oba tukakolemuko kakati tukozije bale juzi president wa America yali ali kulale
Kyagulanyi yabadde okulabiza Uganda era yaliko
kati bya America
kati America nze ndi mu America tuli wano mu Uganda. Yes.
Thank you so much. I want to tell you guys that where we have come from as a country is very bad. We have all suffered. We all have the robots that Stacey was talking about. We all have siblings who can't find jobs. We all have friends who have been arrested for the last 5 years for just speaking the truth. But the good news is this is all coming to an end under the new government, under the leadership of His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi. Allow me to take this opportunity therefore to invite our able President, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi address us.
Even here. Thank you very much. Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. I salute you, ladies and gentlemen, and please bear with us. I know that this function has taken a little longer. Njagala okwebaza Musumba Namboze olw'ekyawandiikibwa ekyatuwadde ab'emukono muzibe mukyano Thank you very much for that word. I want to salute my fellow artists, Figo and your friend. I want to salute another revolutionary artist, Siwaina Rukalala. Man, you're bad. Many times I feel glad to share the wine name with you. Very talented young man. You remind me of Buju Banton. You remind me of Bob Marley. You remind me of Sizzla Kalonji. You remind me of Capleton. All those artists that many of us grew up watching and aspiring to be like, believed in one common thing: equal rights and justice. They believed in freedom for all people, especially the black people, the African people. So, if you see a Rasta man posing around with dreadlocks but not believing in equal rights and justice, that is not Rasta, that is rascalat. So I salute you, my brother. We bali nakubulirira abavubuka. Kikulu nnyo abavubuka omuntu akabulirira ne bawulira yoyo omuvubuka ngabo yoyo ayise waje bayise. We bali bajjukiza nti okubeera omuntu omubi tekikufuula wakabe. Milako will put it straight that bad man and bad man is two different things. Can't mix and mingle the two of them. I also appreciate the drama team from the School of Leadership for the skit that you presented here. Thank you very much. In this our struggle, music, dance, and drama will always carry a center stage. It has been music, dance, and drama, creativity, and poetry. It's been art that has liberated people right from the days of slavery, through colonialism, through dictatorship. And it's what's going to carry us through. So we salute that area. We salute you, Comrade Nobiandi. Selector Devi, namwe abakwataganya area eyo mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala. I also want to sympathize with Dr. Nalukwago. Dr. Nalukwago, we listen to you. Tukusaziranga walaba n'ennumba. Dr. Nalukwago batatubulira nti ennumba zaamulumira mu ddwaliro eri mu kyalo ng'agenze mu toilet. Walaba nnyo munnaye nze manya ennumba. Ze zaali zinumyeko, nze zannumira nno ku muti gwa muyembe. Zannuma ku liiso ne mala wiiki n'amba nga linnuma. Naye kati ggwe nkubamu akafaananyi oba zaakulumyewa. Naye tukusabira munnange badru zaakulumye before oba after. I want to salute the comrades that have presented today. Comrade Awel, the young man, the intelligent young man that you are, and the way you present it gives me hope, gives me confidence that the young people of this generation are actually seeing through the curtain that has been put before our eyes. They're seeing the future. They're seeing the promised land. They're seeing the new Uganda. I want to appreciate the policy team that has been able to clearly paint a picture for us. Very eloquent young men and women, very passionate young men and women, very imaginative young men and women. At least we are able to see the Uganda we want, the Uganda we're aspiring for, and indeed the Uganda that we must achieve. I have no doubt that the picture of that new country is now clearer. We see where we want to go. We are not just what Mao loves to call Agende. Yes, we are Agende. Why no Agenda? He is a roadblock between us and our future. But we've said it before and I want to reassert it again. That we're not only fighting to liberate ourselves, we are fighting to carry ourselves beyond liberation. We are fighting to be able to paint our own destiny. And I'm very glad that for these 2 or 3 hours, these young people have been they've been able to clearly paint a picture. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not my ideas as an individual. No, these are ideas of numerous young men and women. These are ideas of the young generation, young Ugandans from across Uganda. Look at them. From the north to the west, to the east, to the south and central. This is Uganda summarized. These ideas and ideas, they represent all of us. They represent both our pain and our aspiration. They represent the aspirations of a new generation. These thoughts and presentations, ladies and gentlemen, they represent a generation that refuses to be defined by the fear and the hate and the hopelessness that has been imposed on us. Fear has been imposed on us. We fear each other. Hate has been imposed on us. We've been taught to hate each other. We've been conditioned to feel helplessness, to feel helpless, to believe that we can't go past here. Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters, for making it clear that we have a future that is tangible, a future that is safe, a future that we are going to achieve. And I also want to add my voice on yours in the affirmative that we are indeed going to build a new country for ourselves and our children. We are going to build that country for ourselves, by ourselves. I might be the one leading, and I've told you this before, that I don't present myself to lead this struggle, this charge for a new Uganda, because I'm the most educated or most qualified. I present myself because it is a calling, just like every one of you. But nothing gives me confidence to see that behind me there's quality. Behind me, there are young men and women. Them is very qualified, very knowledgeable, well-traveled, passionate about a new Uganda. We have young doctors here, we have young lawyers here, we have journalists, we have people from all walks of life. And yes, we have people like myself and Nubian who are artists. We have people like Eddie Mutwe. We have people like Zambari. Zambari of Mokono. So it is possible, ladies and gentlemen. I have no doubt that it's possible. But I was moved even deeper by the presentation of Maria Ledochos-Kanatabi, who put it clearly that these are just dreams. Brothers and sisters, these are but just dreams. This is but just an imagination, a dream that we can either achieve but also can fail to achieve. This is a dream that we can get, but this is a dream that we can also fail to achieve and keep dreaming about it if we don't take the necessary steps. Over a few years ago, I've learned that in life you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate for. In fact, you get what you fight for, not what you deserve. But brothers and sisters, again I want to tell you that what we deserve, what you deserve, is worth fighting for. Yes, it does. What do we have to do then? Let's do the necessary. Step number one, start by magnifying this, by amplifying this. I like that this has been presented precisely but clearly. It's right here. This is what we want to bring to Uganda. When we say Museveni agende kubalemezaawo bino. What you have to do as a citizen, number one, is to help further paint this picture to all and sundry. Anybody that you get close to, let them understand that we are past the mobilization area. We are in the sensitization and making sure that everybody gets us clearly. Understand what we are fighting for. Understand what we are risking for. Explain it to your friends, to your family, to your boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband. Explain it to your friends. Explain it whenever you have an opportunity. To you, our leaders, especially those that are running to office. And I like that the skit made it very clear. Don't promise people rice, because we are not going to give rice in the new Uganda. Promise what we are going to give as a government. In the new government, you're going to be serving under the National Unity Platform. And this that I'm promising, you are going to be responsible to deliver to your constituents. This is going to be government policy, and all leaders are going to be charged with this. So explain it to people so that people know exactly what to demand from you when we are in power. Make it clear. Make our manifesto your talking points when you go to speak. Don't promise people warranty. Let's be different from those that we are fighting against. And further, we request you to simplify it even more in your languages. Make it understandable. Simplify it further. Those of you that are on social media, please help us. Share these on your social media handles. We've been saying that that phone is a very powerful tool. Please lend it to Uganda. Lend your TikTok account to Uganda, your Facebook account, your Twitter account, all platforms that you can. Show people what Uganda can achieve. Support the NUP or the NUP candidate. At least let every young Ugandan understand what Uganda can turn into. And then we can decide who takes us there. I've already shown you that me, I have the law to take you there. But at least let us first understand where we want to go as a country. Let's understand the kind of country that we want. And then we will find the courage to take the first, second, and more steps towards that Uganda that we want to get to. So, help us. Push it. I know we have different talents. Those that can animate it, break it down, simplify it, let even a young child of 5-6 years understand the kind of country that we want, because we are not going to stop. I told you a few weeks ago that we are not going to wait to celebrate when we get there. We shall celebrate along the way. Even knowledge of what we want to achieve is victory enough. Let us celebrate it and then keep moving towards it. So break it down for those people, make it understandable. Then another thing I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, organize, organize, organize. Send this message down to the common people. Build teams, zitwaite gari. Build teams, let them go door to door, not just asking for a vote, but painting a picture of what people are voting for. I want people to know what they are voting for. So organize, go to your constituencies, you the leaders. I really love your company on the campaign trail, but I request you to spend more time in your constituencies. Go there, don't wait for me to come to your constituency with you. While we turn the nation upside down, turn your constituency upside down, and organize, organize, organize. Identify polling agents, identify people who will help us at every step of this democratic revolution. Muzimbe gari, inywere. Also, while at it, please identify alternative means of communication. We all know the Museveni kind of election, and I'm sure he thinks that he is bringing his usual nonsense in this election. So, think ahead. We all know what these people are planning. Think ahead. You know they're going to switch off the network. You know they're going to switch off the internet. Plan ahead. Find alternative ways of communication so that we are in touch as a nation. We are entering a very critical phase of this revolution. So I charge you to go and find different ways. Sit down, burn the midnight candle. Form discussion groups. You never know. Maybe your small group has the idea that will liberate us. So work together, build together, and let us do it, because I know we are going to do it. This, ladies and gentlemen, many people hear us. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We are going into a risky time, but we can choose to see it from two different perspectives. From one side, you can look at it as a risk, and from the other side, you can choose to look at it as an opportunity. So, let's make the brave choices. Like I said, they hear us singing, when the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. What is that victor's crown? That is the one. What they just explained here. The first 11 and more will come when the struggle is over, when we defeat General Museveni and his corrupt regime. So, ladies and gentlemen, in that new Uganda, make it clear to the people what they are voting for. They are not voting for Kyagulanyi, the individual. They are voting Kyagulanyi, who represents that. They are not voting for NUP, the political party. They are voting for NUP, which represents that. That is exactly what they are voting for. Anybody that is taking the umbrella, that is what you are voting for. Anybody that is risking, that is what you're risking. Anybody that is fighting, that is exactly what you're fighting for. You're not fighting for money to be put in your pocket. You're fighting for a better country. We look at you as leaders. So when you're going to prison, our brothers that are in prison, and many of us that might go to prison, that is what we are going to prison for. For those that will be tortured, even those that will be killed, that is what we are dying for. And I have good news, my brothers and sisters. Whether you are fighting, that is worth fighting for. Whether you're going to prison, it is worth going to prison for. Even dying, this is worth dying for. Because we are doing this for our children and our children's children. We are doing it because the alternative is slavery. And me as an individual, and I believe all of you, or most of you, would rather die than be slaves on the land of your forefathers and foremothers. I can guarantee you that at the end of this, your children will be in charge of their country. They will be able to paint their own destiny. These young men and women, and all those among you, we don't need to remind you of what the regime is doing to stifle us, to impoverish us, to cut our speed. We are moving regardless, but we request you not to stop supporting us. I want to confirm to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are not going to give up. And you cannot defeat people that don't give up, especially when they are younger than you. We are younger than them. We are older than them. We are more determined, and we shall not give up. I can guarantee you that in the end, everything will be all right. And if everything is not all right, then it will not be the end. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Ngeri omusana gye gwaka ennyo ne bwe siriza mu Luganda. ab'emukono baŋŋambye mbizeeko ne mu Luganda. Basebo ne bannyabo, tusiima nnyo ttiimu yaffe eya polisi, abaami n'abakyala ab'emyaka emito naye nga bagezi nnyo ate nga baagala nnyo ensi yaabwe. Tubeebaza nnyo olw'okutusigira ekifaananyi ekya Uganda empya. Nkakasa kati bantu batono nnyo kabe kasinge nga tebalinawo abatategeera kirooto kya Uganda empya. Kati ffenna tumanyi kye tuyayaanira, tumanyi exactly kye twagala okuteekawo. Tuli basanyufu nnyo ti abantu abatutotoledde abatemeetemye mu bisuubizo byaffe bya Uganda empya bava mu bitundu bya Uganda byonna. Eno kyekino ekifaananyi ekya Uganda, abava mu mambuka, abava ebuvanjuba ne bugwanjuba, abava mu masekati ne maserengeta, bonna bakiikirira ebirooto n'ebyayaanirwa eby'omugigi omuto ebya Uganda empya, Uganda ejjudde amasanyu, Uganda gye tukakasa nti tulina okufuna mu bulamu bwaffe, Uganda gye tukakasa nti tulina okusala amagezi gonna tugifune omwaka ogujja mu kutema mu bigambo bitonotono mu myezi 3. Tubeebaza olw'ekifaananyi kye mutusiigidde kubanga kyongedde okulaga ddala yeffe bali bye bayogerako. Kuba mwawulira Haji Hussein Kyanjobe yayogerangako generation ege yeffe, Kasirye Gwanga bwe yabagamba nga yeffe, ne mu byawandiikibwa bonna mpozi byasomye yeffe. Yeffe twagaana okutuumibwa oba okukuumibwa mu busibe oba obukyayi oba okutya n'oba obutaba na ssuubi. Ffe twasalawo ebiseera byaffe eby'omu maaso tubiteeke mu ngalo zaffe, ku lwaffe, olw'abazadde baffe, naye okusingira ddala ku lw'abaana baffe. Era nga tubakakasa tyeseri tugenda gizimba baganda bange. Bino byonna bye mulabye ebimbadde mu Luzungu, ebirala mu Luganda, naye bijja kutuukawo. Neera nga mwannyinaffe nattabire Dokyosika okuva e Busoga e Butembe bwatugambye nti bino byonna bikyali birooto, bino byonna bikyali biteeberezo, bino byonna ssuubi, bino birooto. Naye era njagala mmanye nti bino birooto bye tusobola era bye tukolerera okutuukako mu bbanga eritali lyawala. Naye nga bamukube engalo zammwe, njagala mumanye nti era bino bye birooto bye tusobola okulemwa okutuukako. Tusobolera ddala okulemwa okubituukako singa tetukola kituufu. Ekituufu kye kiruwa? Ekituufu basebo ne bannyabo kwe kumanya nti mu bulamu tofuna ekyo ky'osaanidde kufuna, nedda singa ekyo ky'olwaniridde. Yes, tewali mirimu gye bagenda kuleetera waka ku soosiyo. Bw'oba toli mu matu osaana okangule ku voisiyo, sigala ku koosiyo, era manya lwaizo. Tolema kolera Uganda gwezimba ggwanga lyo wadde nga boosiwo eyali wa choice gwe baana ggwanga lyo lino ggwanga lyo. Bannange, ekirooto kino tusobolera ddala okulema okukifuna singa tetukoze ekituufu. Eky'omukisa omulungi, ekituufu tukimanyi baganda bange. Era ekituufu nsaba tutandike okikola mbagirawo. Okusookera ddala mbasaba mwenna bannayuganda, si bakulembeze bokka naye buli munnayuganda olifuule katalaali, okufuula mulimu gwo okutemaatema manifesto eyo, okutemaatema ebigendererwa bya NUP, obinnyonnyole buli muntu gw'osobola okutuukako. Tandikira ku bazadde bo, odde ku mwagalwawo, odde ku baana bo oba mikwano gyo, ab'ekinywi kyo b'okola nabo oba bonna b'otuukako. Osobola okukikola mu buntu, osobola n'okozesa social media yo. Mutuyambe mu kimaking clear, abantu balabe kye balwanirira. Bw'oba omanyi ky'olwanirira kizibu okussa omukono, bw'oba olengera gy'olaga bannange kizibu okupondoka n'ogwamu amaanyi. Abantu mubalage gye tulaga, bamanye nti tetuli kino Mao kyayagala okuyita nti abo bagamba just Museveni must go. Yes, Museveni must go, but after Museveni goes, our job will just have begun. Museveni bw'anaagenda, omulimu gwaffe gujja kuba gwakatandika. awo tutereeze Uganda empya. So tubasaba mukinyonnyola abantu nammwe abali ku social media tuzenga tubasaba era twongera okubasaba baganda bange buli ayagala ensiye waakiri waayo vidiyo emu oba posti emu oba eddakiika 10 buli lunaku kuba eggwanga lyo mwabali mu Uganda n'abali ebweru wa Uganda tugezaako okuzimba ya Uganda empeya buli omu era buli omu alina omulimu. Olina abantu abakuwuliriza bayinza okuba 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,000 bawe obubaka buno tuyambe okimenyemenye mu ngeri yo mu lulimi lwo mu sitayiro yo mu ngeri yo yonna yonna omekinga ekiwa nti abantu bakutegeera. Njagala okusinzira wano tulina omu ku baganda baffe omuyimbi Nakinku Honorable Walukagga. Njagala okusaba ssebo taliwo wano naye nkakasa gyali ampulira. Njagala okusaba ssebo manyi toyiya ne bayiya tetwafirwa babasudde ndisi gwe twakusigaza. Nkusaba okoleyo n'akayimba akakodongo kamootemeeteme Uganda empyanga begenda okuba kulaba buli mwaka ng'otematema omwaka mwaka tematema Uganda empya n'abantu bewaffe nabo bakuba bamanye. Abantu bangi nnyo tebalaba bino, abantu bangi nnyo tebawulira luzungu, abantu bangi nnyo ne betwogera bibabowa naye bwe mubitematema mwe ba comedians mwe ba artists mutemeeteme Uganda empya abantu balabe kyebalwanirira. Abantu balekerawo okugamba balwanirira Kyagulanyi oba balwanira NUP bamanye kyebalwanirira. Ne bwaba tawagira NUP oba Kyagulanyi naye amanye nti alina kyalwanirira asobole okugeraageranya wa waali na wa waalaga awo asalewo ayagala kusigala wano oba ayagala genda wali. Tukimenyemenye abantu batutegeere bulungi nnyo abakulembeze naddala mu abeesimbyewo. Temukyasobola kugamba nti temumanyi byagamba abantu. Temusubiza abantu katogo, temukulira abantu mwenge, temusubiza kuwa abantu sente. Abantu mwabapoloote nga mulina n'obujulizi mubalage kyetwagala okubawa. Kyekino kyakabi okusinga bukyolo bwe babasaba ate nkakasa bajja bategeera. Awulidde bulungi. So mumenyemenye manifesto yaffe buli wa NUP oba oli MP oba oli meya eno ye manifesto y'okutandikira ebirala ebiri detail oyongereza okwo. Naye abantu mubalage nti tugenda kukola nga gavumenti, tegenda kubeera ng'eneya Museveni ekunkumuka, tugenda kukolera wamu. This is going to be government policy. Eno egenda okuba enkola ya gavumenti betugenda okuluubirira era buli mukulembeze ku level yonna yonna enjiri gye tukusaba ogende owe abantu. Era njagala kusinzira wano n'okubasaba abakulembeze bannange nsanyuka nnyo nga tutambula ku campaign trail era temulekera okumperekera. Naye njagala obudde obusinga mu bumale mu constituency zammwe musisinkana abantu mubasaba akalulu ne temubasaba busabi kalulu mubalage gye tugenda. Mmwe wano temuli bakandidate kubanga bino si bya bulijjo, mwe muli bakomanda. Muli bakomanda balutabaalo muli baduumizi. Ate mmwe abakulu abatuuze abali eyo temulowooza nti olwokuba aliwo komanda ali politiko timwe temuli komanda. Nammwe twabo bawa muli bakomanda. Kati njagala bakwate nga tebalina gwe bakwata, nga tebalina gwe bakwata bakwata onoona bayita mu nkwawa. Ekyo bwe kiba kirina okubeera. Njagala obbasaba abakulembeze bwe mugeze mu constituency zammwe muteekateeke, muteeketeeke. Tiimu zammwe zibakubira kampeni muzinnyonnyole. Nabadde eyo ku drive nendaba omwana ndowooza Honorable Hassan Kirumira yamuleese. Ali ludda oyo mwana. Omwana oyo mumpeereyo omutwalo ojja kummanja. Nawulidde omwana ng'agenda annyonnyola ebintu. For a minute webale nnyo ssebo webalire ddala. For a minute nga simanyi nzayogera naye ate ndi mu mmotoka. So abaana bano abato bali amangi wetulirewo naye bwojja mulaba olayika tolinamu na mutwalo. So eyo yeba enjiri gye tubuulira ku zi drive zaffe ku mikolo gye mugenda buli wamu abantu tubalage ekifaananyi kye twagala ng'eggwanga. bachi understanding muzimbe egaali ezo ze ziba zikola campaign zigende door to door mugende door to door obudde bukyaliwo mutuukirire buli muntu nfuba okulaba nga ntuuka kuli bantu kubanjagala tugende okulonda nga njogedde ne miliyoni ezitaka wansi wa 20 ez'abantu nawe njagala making sure wakiri 80% ku balonzi abeewammwe oyogedde nabo so mugende mukonektinge n'abantu bamanye ti bino bya ddala si byo ebyokulondalonda mubiri nga Museveni byabadde nga amanyi era mukozese n'ekino ekiseera okwa-identifying aba polling agents abagenda okukuuma akalulu kaffe tuleme kutuuka ku kiro ekiseera nga temubategeera kati mubeekennenye gw'olabamu ng'alimu ebitege teekawo omulala obudde bukyaliwo mweteeketeeke wano wetugenda wewali wennyini we bayogerako njagala n'okubasaba mufune engeri ez'enjawulo ez'okuwuliziganyamu mukimanyi bulungi nnyo okulonda nga Museveni yakulembera eggwanga saagala tutandike kwekanga mbu intaneti bagijeko obadde tomanyi nti bagenda gijjako netiwaka bazijjeko obadde tomanyi nti bagenda giteekako bagijjako kati mutandike kati agenda okusalako intaneti nga tumugamba twakulinda dde oluddewo nogijjako mufune engeri ez'enjawulo ez'okukwataganamu mwetegekere kana akalulu tuyingira mu phase gye bayita eyakanayo kyani mu kana akalulu yes igenda kuba yeraliikiriza kubano we batandikira okusiba abantu waifu ali mukomera edi muntu ali mukomera akirewo ali mukomera Gaddafi ali mukomera Bobi Yang ali mukomera Smart ali mukomera n'abalala kubanga bo ye blueprint yaabwe kati mukwateko abamwetolodde simanyani gwe baddako okusiba droni zeetala kana kaseera katiisa ne tulina choice tulina ekyokusalawo kana kaseera tukatunulire nga tuyimiridde ku ludda ki olw'okutya oba olw'essuubi kubanga oyimirira ku ludda olw'okutya olaba buzibu bokka na bulabe bokka naye bw'osalawo okukana akaseera okalabira ku ludda olw'essuubi olaba mukisa olaba opportunity olaba wetumukubira engwalo olaba wetumutendulira so nze mbasaba tutunulire opportunity tutunulire omukisa gwe tulina ekyomukisa omulungi tumanyi kikye tulwanirira otuyimba bulijjo nti olutalo nga luwedde tuliyambala engule gye twawogerako si yakwambala ku mutwe kugenda ng'emasamasa engule gye twogerako yeeno ye Uganda empya gye tugenda okuzimba engule eyo bweba obuyinza n'omukisa gwe tugenda okubanga tufunye omukisa gwe tusaba abannayuganda yonna gye twetoloola gwenkakasa nti bagenda gutuwa omukisa ogwo bwe bagutuwa tubalage Uganda empya bwefaanana abantu bamanye nti bwe bagenda okulonda tagenze kulonda James Mubiru nedda tagenze kulonda Nubianli nedda tagenze kulonda Mwanga Kivumbi oba Malende nedda agenze kulonda Uganda empya amanye nti ne bwaba nga bamukuba gasi ku lwekyo ajja kuguma ne baba bamusiba mukomera ku lwekyo kyakkiririzaamu ajja kuguma ne baba batutemula nga tugamba kino it is something worth fighting for, worth risking for and worth dying for. Era mbakakasa kino ekintu nze ntalayo buli kimu era namwe mbasaba mutale afiya kubanga tujja tuukayo. Kamalirize baganda bange nga mbeebaza mubadde mulaba ti wiiki bbiri eziise tetufunyeeko kabenje n'akamu okugjako emmotoka ya poliisi emmotoka za poliisi bbiri ezajja ne zitomera abantu nga tugenda e Busunju. Tetufunye kabenje konna kubanga mubadde muvuga bulungi nnyo, mubadde mukuuma layini yammwe wadde emmotoka nyingi piki nyingi naye mukuuma layini yammwe. Mbasaba mukuume empisa ezo. N'abatulugunya baswala bishuwa tebatwagala banjagadde otutulugunya naye banoonya ensonga ekyababuze temubawa nsonga. Kamera kezigale nga batunuddemu bo banyige bunyizi bagambe kawadde tewali nsonga piga huyo kale. Neffe we need to be clear, we need to be safeguarded before the eyes of the people, before the law and before God. So mbebaza nnyo olw'empisa, mbebaza nnyo olw'obuntu bulamu, mbebaza nnyo olw'okubeera n'ekisa naddala security team yaffe, abaana baffe abatambulira ku bodaboda, mwenna ba food soldiers, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Nja kwebaza abo abakuumye abantu nakibagambako nti omuntu gw'olaba ku kkubo oyo muwala akyamuse n'afiriminga ebyo ebintu n'abiteeka ku akawunti ye atupushingira nnyo struggle yaffe. Eyo essimu eringa emmundu mweno fight tuli mu lutalo lwakuba olutalo lwaffe luli non-violent. Era eyo essimu gy'olaba mweno digital era eyo essimu eringa mmundu. Nabagamba mufube nnyo okukuumagana naye okusingira ddala okuuma abantu abajja okutuwagira. Gavumenti ya Museveni ng'ekozesa Christopher Damulira bagenda mu ghetto tebanoonyayo bali talented nga Siwai na Lukalala oyo ghetto youth nga nze wano ne tebaagala yaabo baagala babbi baagala baziba misango bajje batuzeeko emisango. Nabagamba temubakkiriza temubawa chance kutulugunya abantu baffe. Njagala bazye basanga ate ffe nga tuli era twabawoninga dda nti omuntu yenna alina ajja okubba essimu ku mulwanyi waffe. Ffe buli muntu yenna kutula bakozesa essimu okupushinga struggle yaffe oyo mulwanyi, era essimu tugirabanga emmundu. Era baganda bange omuntu yenna alina abbako omuntu essimu nga tuli mu struggle ne mumulaba mumuyise nga bbye emmundu. Mukifuule kya bulabe nnyo omuntu okujja okuza emisango muffe, okujja okubba muffe, esitwago yaffe teriimu babbi. Number one duty ey'abantu bonna ba freedom fighters kubeera disciplined. Kati omuntu ajja n'atukolamu indiscipline mumulage nti si munnaffe, bwe mumala mumukwase poliisi bwe mukola ki? Ngamba waggulu njagala okwebaza bonna abatusapootinze. Yes, mumekinga sure obubbi tebutuyingiramu butono si bungi. Tebukkiriza babbi tuyingiramu. Era nammwe ababbi abali eyo mbalabula nti bino tulwanirira mmwe ate bino bya ddala. Tulwanyisa omulabe waffe n'abo abeefula abamu ku ffe bakozesa. So temukola ki? Njagala okwebaza abatuwagidde, abatuvujjiridde, mwebale ddala. Bali mwezo yankubye akama tetukyetagayo ku ssente. Mulaba batuyise ewala ewantu wetwandibogedde eddakiika 2 ne tuvugirawo essaawa 2 essaawa 3. Fenno tetukaana nabo kuba ne wali abantu ate basinga okunyigirizibwa, so naye tuyitayo. Kitegeeza nti amafuta tukozesa mangi, twogera nnyo, nze njogera ebigambo bannange kitegeeza nja n'emmere nnyingi. So baganda bange ekyamazima tukyetagayo ku buyambi, temulekerawo okutuyambako, mugende maaso nga mutuwagira, tulwane luno olutalo tumaleko. Twabagamba era tuddamu bagamba nti tetulina kye tufiirwa okugyako enjegere zituli ku mikono ne ku bigere. Tugendagenda mu maaso nga tulwana tuwangule. Bakakasa nti tugenda kuwangula. Bino gye binaggweera buli kimu kijja kuba kiteredde. Era mwe mulaba nga buli kimu tekinaterera nga mumanya tebinaggwa. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale ddala mu ngeri enjawulo. Kanneebaze era recognizing Father Kizito avudde mukono. Mwebale nnyo, weebalire ddala. Neanza sebo, zinona kubili namba. People power! Our power! People power! Our power! People power! Everywhere! NUP! Everywhere!
The evidence media, Mr. President, are going to nga twamusobera buli kimu mukirabe bulungi tukiwulira bulungi atakitegedde